What up, my amazing YouTube friends? Welcome back to another edition of Holi-Details with B. I am pumped to have you here. We have an F250 here to get detailed, but I want to talk today about decontamination. I prefer to do decontaminations in 2 steps. The first step, chemical. Second step, physical. There are a bunch of really great chemical decontaminators out there. IronX from CarPro is expensive but awesome. Adams is a little bit more affordable but stinks really, really bad. 3D makes one that I have tried out on quite a few details now. I'm trying to think of how many, I can't remember, but that's what I have today. And 3D's is awesome. It doesn't stink as bad as Adams. It's a little bit, well, it's in the same price range as Adams, and it works, so booyah for that. But because I have a white vehicle, a white truck, mega truck, my beautiful bride just came out and commented on how big the truck is because it seems like what we do. But because I have the truck in here and it's white and it's riddled with contamination, let's do this today. I'm not sure why, but Fords seem to gather this nasty ring under here. Oftentimes it's just embedded in contaminants and it comes out, but not every time. You may be thinking to your awesome self, how can I actually do this? Well, you're gonna have to find your own methods. I'm just showing you what I do, which I think is a solid method, but again, find your own, whatever works for you, because one thing you need to be very, very careful about is not scratching your paint. That's my biggest goal in this beautiful, epic garage, is to not scratch the paint in any way. So what I do is I spray the iron remover on the paint. If you let it dry, it's going to absolutely destroy your paint. So what I do, spray it on, let it dwell for just a minute, gather that iron, those contaminants, and pull it to the ground. Why do I let it do that? Or why do I do a 2-step? The first step, the chemical decontamination, it actually softens the edges. So when you physically decontaminate, you actually pull those embedded contaminants out of the clear coat. And when you pull them out, obviously if they're huge and haven't been softened at all, they're going to scratch because you physically decontaminate by moving. So with my biggest goal being no scratches on the paint, this is what I do. Let it sit and dwell, let the chemical decontamination sit and dwell for under 5 minutes. If it's really, really hot and really, really dry in the garage, like midsummer here in northern Utah, I will definitely let it dwell for a little bit less. Two, physically decontaminate. You can do a couple of different things. You can do a clay mitt, 303 Adams. You can do a clay towel. This is from the rag company. All are awesome options if you aren't going to polish, because they won't take off as much contamination as a clay bar will. Clay barring comes with some risks for sure. Again, this is how I do things, and you have to find your own methods on how to do things. My methods are to remove the risk or reduce the risk, you can't remove it, of scratching the paint. So what I do is I get the clay bar very, very warm in hot water, and then I use the foam cannon to apply some clay lube, and then I'll clay bar. When I clay bar a normal customer's car that I'm not going to paint correct, I don't aim for every tiny bit of fallout to be gone, because the more you work on the paint, especially with a clay bar, Even with those clay towels and stuff, the more heavily you work on the paint, the more your risk of scratching increases. If I am doing paint correction, a little bit of marring is okay because I'm going to paint correct. However, in normal details, it's just I want to make it look amazing and feel amazing. There's nothing better than a recently clay barred paint. So, got my hot, super piping hot water. This is soft and supple. I'm going to spray the clay lube. I'm going to spray the foam cannon on the paint and then clay bar. Works really well. That, 2 steps, very, very simple. You have to be very, very careful, or I am very, very careful because my goal is to not scratch the paint. That's how I decontaminate. It's pretty awesome. See you on the next one. I hate that clicky thing.